So I want to give Whitney mega, mega props tonight for saying about Lindsay. She always plays the single mom card. Not everyone has a lot of support around them. And later we see Georgina and Lindsay going off like, we can say we're tired whenever we want, blah, 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 blah. Why that really triggered me, and seeing how Lexi didn't agree with Whitney, I totally agree with Whitney. Because also I've experienced this, and I need to clarify, not all moms are like this, but I was friends with a group of moms that I knew for a really long time, and they changed so dramatically once they had kids in terms of how they treated me and how they treated each other. So, for example, this was like 5 years ago. I went to Ontario, where I'm from, to visit, and I went to one of their houses to stay over. That mom has 3 kids. Her husband took the kids for the night. There was another mom coming later in the day. Guess what my friend had me do when I got there? Help her clean her kitchen and go grocery shopping with her. I will add to that. It was a year and a half into the pandemic. I was working as a frontline worker. I never got to stay home. I was doing a lot. I was cleaning people's rooms that were covered with needles, covered with any bodily fluid you could imagine, because of the buildings I was working in. I was working with people dealing with severe mental health overdoses, but it felt like to them, they didn't register that because it wasn't momming. And that's the only type of labor that actually takes energy out of you and matters. That was my feeling. Okay. So help her. Then when the other friend gets there who was pregnant, my friend's like, oh, you're going to stay in my bed with me and I have this amazing pill that's just for pregnant women and you need to be pampered. And it's like, hard to not be like, wow, I wish you just showed me like a little bit of a break. Like, I'm trying to be on a semi break from my job for 1 week, but I'm being expected to do more labor to help you out, of course. But oh, the pregnant woman is going to get all the support and attention. And it's really hard. I could not achieve not feeling resentful. Eventually, I would bring this stuff up to these friends and they did not get it or change their behavior. So I'm no longer friends with them. But hearing Whitney say that just brought up so many of my feelings of, you don't get just this get out of jail free card just because you're a mom. And I guarantee there is a lot more in work involved with being a mom, but that is not our fault. And it doesn't mean the work that other women do does not count just because it is not being a mom. So it's really disappointing that Whitney ran away and goes and tells them, and that they're going to try to come at Whitney so hard. So I love that Whitney had the courage to say that, because it is very challenging to criticize moms in any way. And especially like I'm friends with moms who are not like this and who are very considerate and who don't make everything about, I'm a mom, so I'm better than you. But it was shocking to be friends with women who were this way, and that still to this day, like, I don't think they get how truly different they treated me from how they treated the other moms in the group. Only Team Mother Hubbard all the way. But Lindsay, no bueno for how you were being tonight. First of all, why the hell could you not apologize to Yvonne? I'm shocked Yvonne wrapped that up at the end, because if I went through what she went through, where Lindsay and everyone else completely stole the show and like demolished her wedding civil ceremony party that she organized, that she had beautiful going, I would not be feeling okay if someone gave me a half-assed apology the way that Lindsay did and was actually pushing as if though Yvonne had done something wrong to her and it was so hard for Lindsay. That was so twisted, and that's where I see why some people don't like Lindsay, because she was so defensive and Yvonne was being very calm. But I love that she stood her ground, because I have a feeling that she is not normally having an issue with Lindsay and is just straight up supportive of her. So watching that, I'm just like, oh my dear Lord. And then as well, once Lindsay finds out that Whitney was saying that she always pulls the single mom card, and this is what she goes, give Whitney the advice of never repeating that again this entire weekend. But you do that, Lindsay. So why can't she call it out? You guys, you and Georgina are saying, I've never said I don't like being a single mom, or I can't do it. But then you guys are simultaneously saying, Lindsay's going, oh, well, what does Whitney do? Go do Pilates all day, every day? You're diminishing her life. So you're saying because you chose to have a kid, that the way you spend your time and how tired you are and how much more you have to do, that it somehow reflects that then Whitney is lazy or a loser or is just some flighty person in comparison. No, 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 no. We're not going to do this. So Lindsay, take some accountability, because can't stand you this episode. And you're just falling into that trap of what creates, in my opinion, this huge divide between childless women and women who have kids. It's not cool. Amanda has the audacity to say, I have put my own feelings aside for the benefit of everyone else this weekend, and then proceeds to make that same weird face that she made when West pulled a chair up beside her when it was like the licking her lips, like witch hand thing. She was starting to make that exact same face with Kyle when he's starting to get real riled up. She just, you see how much she just loves it when he looks like the bad guy. I'm team Kenny and Gavin in this one. I like Kenny, or I like that Gavin goes, she doesn't take any accountability. And I like that they're just not going to totally bow down to her because she is so good at playing the victim. And she used a line, the exact same thing she said on the reunion when she just like, I'm going to have to excuse myself for a moment. She did that exact same thing at the dinner. She is the ultimate victim of all time. And she's such a hypocrite because she's saying, all I want is for him to let me know and like let me in on what he's doing. You told him you were moving out and separating from him. You told him and lied. You said you were going to get a temporary 1 month thing that was furnished. Then you said, I couldn't find anywhere that I needed that was furnished. So I got a 1 year lease. How can you ask this man to continue to, not even that he ever did, but what we're seeing is neither did you, Amanda, and you most definitely are not compromising right now. So Amanda is, based on what we are seeing, she continues to lie a lot. And also she says that she always goes to Kyle for his input or approval. Did you ask Kyle about whether he was okay with you effing West or not? So please, Amanda, stop lying. There's two things this episode that without a doubt need to get shout outs. Kenny's vest that he's wearing, I don't know if it was a leftover or inspired by the paintball thing, but that was kind of cracking me up. It's very G.I. Joe style. And then Gavin's overalls with the tank top at the dinner. Those looks were amazing. They're so fun. I love when people dress in entertaining ways. And again, I really wanted to hate these guys. I do think they are still very deep in bro culture in some ways, but I love Kenny and Gavin, and I want there to be an In the City season 2, and I want to watch Kenny and Gavin still. And Gavin is putting in the work. If he wasn't on the show, he is driving conversations forward. Yes, he's being a shit disturber, but at least he gets the memo. Unlike, for example, on the Valley, Nia and Danny, who think like they're on a reality show and don't realize this is a part of what you signed up for. So love those guys. I also have to give some credit to Kyle for talking about his anal fissure. He says what's called a fissure cut. I literally like ripped my butt open. So he said his dad was giving him some suggestions about Metamucil, and this is exactly what I would do. And it shows again, Kyle has an addictive personality, in my opinion. I remember taking Smooth Move tea a long time ago, and I ended up crapping my bed. Thankfully, it wasn't working at that point in time, so I was able to just clean myself up and keep going. But if I would have had to go to work, I would have not been able to do that. It's very unpleasant, and I like that he was saying it's the most painful thing I've ever had to deal with in my life. And his dad was raving that he has the best poops and he doesn't have to use toilet paper. That part I'm a little confused by. And Kyle just wanted to be like his dad. So that kind of stuff I love mixed into all the really serious stuff. And then just seeing Kyle in his bath with his Epsom salts. I like the editing for this show and how they're flipping back between the serious drama and the lighthearted parts.